Thanks for coming. Thanks for giving up your time. The reason we wanted to bring you all together as first years at this point in your first term of study is to give you a sort of support network of a kind. You're all about the right stage, about the similar stage in terms of your development. You're all completely different disciplines, obviously. But to give you kind of a peer group who are all across disciplines, across institutions, and to give you a sort of sense of support network, and to give you some ways of building that kind of support and thinking about how you're going to go into the next couple of years of your work. Who here is scared? Be honest. I've put a lot of effort in. It's going to be quite an interesting day. It's going to be, I think, hopefully a very useful day, a stimulating day, all these things. Have a nice day. I think you're going to go and do some energising now, so be energetic.
Okay, a bit faster now, a bit faster. Come on, faster. You are going to introduce yourself. But the trick here is that you're not going to talk. You're going to use some part of your body.
I like reading and writing.
Crying. Look at us.
Drinking tea, eating and drinking.
The art.
When you do
So why did you want to do it?
It was just something that I came across and no one had written anything about it really before, so it's kind of controversial.
Okay, did everybody have a chance to share their story? Okay, let's keep moving now.
The purpose of this day today is to give you some tools through which you can own your community, through which you can own the journey you're taking now. My idea was to get you to think about the PhD journey as a kind of rite of passage. So I'm an anthropologist, obviously. That's my first train of thought. Rites of passage have different phases. So 3 main phases, and the phases are a phase where you kind of separate from the community you are embedded in, and the kind of setting off to this journey. And then you've got a phase that's called the liminal phase. It's the key phase of this transformation. It's the most powerful phase where norms are turned upside down, where hierarchies are not working anymore, where you're with the group you're all kind of on equal terms. And it's a very powerful place in this transformation. And then the last phase, or the third phase, would be the phase of reaggregation or reintegration into society, into this social environment that you left to transform and to change your status. Coming back, but coming back changed as well. So you're not coming back to the same place, you're coming back as a different person and are perceived differently. So I want you to have an open mind, because what we are going to do in the next bit of today, in the next hour, is design our own initiation ritual into the doctoral journey.
So what challenges did we have to overcome?
Also kind of the decision to actually do it. Yeah, you've had to make the choice to commit so much time. Yeah.
First minute you're thinking about something else, you're gathering your thoughts.
You're asleep, symbolically. Then there's the snooze, hit snooze.
Yeah. Okay, well, alright, well, we're gonna inject some sort of like, so every time they hit snooze it's gotta be a different element of it, so it's like, you know, when you're walking around and they're like, okay, now you're gonna do this, now you're gonna do that, so like...
So we're gonna build our whole section around the alarm and snooze.
And the snooze,
I quite like
yeah.
it. Because like even coming to something like this, I thought it was quite out of my comfort zone, because I find working with groups and communicating a little bit difficult. But that issue of like, how do you find yourself in this place? How do you sort of settle here and kind of find a way of making it work?
But that is kind of like the same thing, in that that's, even if you're in these different environments, if you have something that you take with you, which is like familiar to you and a like identifier for your work.
One of the challenges is that you need to keep
sort of inventing new ideas, keep thinking and noting it down and recording it and translating that. So perhaps, you know, that ties into the object. And books obviously feed itself into that. So
when you're in like a liminal phase, you're sort of like swimming between different ideas and you're not like getting them to be grounded. Actually, maybe that could be one of the challenges, and like the pen and the process of noting things down is in the process of like capturing things.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of to do with like moving and being in transition, being in a liminal state. And it's like finding, maybe the ritual is finding a way to like solidify or capture something, and even if the ritual is actually just like making a page of notes or unpacking your things, maybe those could be two rituals that we could have. I don't know.
And then one person starts and walk around the circle, and then the next does, and the next, and the next, until we all walk around the circle, and then we make the child position, and after a few moments in child position, we stand up and scream our real names, because we are not just numbers, but we are people with names.
And the elder will then act as the gatekeeper, and he or she will let the first person in. They will then do a lap of the room and then shake hands with the elder or anyone else in the room and introduce themselves, and then the next person gets let in, and the same process goes until you've shaken everyone's hand and everyone knows each other.
And then a second alarm goes off and we snooze that, and then we sit up and kind of have like a stretch. And then the third alarm goes off and we stand up and we form a circle, and then the elder distributes the mug of tea bags, which is here, and everybody takes one, but as you're taking it you have to have a smell, because it smells really good.
It does smell really good.
Oh, you'll know.
Sit down in your space, take a pen and paper, and then move into somebody else's space that they've sort of established and created. So either swap or just move around. When you're in someone else's space, surrounded by their things, just take a minute to think and reflect on the sort of the past 2 days, and then take some notes of those experiences and think about how we'll sort of move on from this workshop. And then if anyone wants to, then we'll have space for people to share those things with the group.
We were quite kind of, we were going for a reflective mood, but she said, no, we need to create chaos, because that is the challenge.
She said we weren't being outrageous.
Yeah, that is the challenge of PhD, organised chaos.
But the idea is that you come into this room and you're blindfolded, but you have an object with you. We thought, because we spoke to you and you were doing things with objects and spaces, but you take one of those objects with you and you're blindfolded and you come into this room, and we might need a couple of helpers with this bit. And the idea is you put your object down in the middle of the room and then you're moved on. And so this pile of objects creates in the middle of the room and everyone's blindfolded. And you then have to, after a bit of, movement around or move to a different bit, you've got to then find your object again while still blindfolded.
Make weird sounds. I should write it down. It's always make weird sounds. You have to make weird
Okay, now you can stay lying down, but I want you to start thinking, so I'm going to turn the lights back on so you don't fall asleep. Ready for the day.
There's a tea in here.
You want a proper tea bag?
You want a proper tea bag?
You can get a tea bag, you'll be. I've got the.
You got to tap yourself.
No.
Just
Now we must walk clockwise. Anti-clockwise, because we're anti-establishment.
4 times. In commemoration for 4 years of our PhD.
4 times.
Okay, now we're done. Leave the room. Everybody leave.
That's for comedy runs.
Welcome to your PhD. May start.
Hi, I'm
That's me.
Emily. Hello, I'm Emily. Hello, I'm Emily.
Run, guys, run.
Oh.
Oh, that's not a run round, come on.
PhD?
Come on, full run. Oh, nice to meet you.
My scarf
Oh.
hit me in the face.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hello, afternoon.
Oh, right, afternoon.
Now we're saying that whoever comes in thinks they have to.
Say hello.
Someone, who's that?
But we have to be online or a couple?
Is everybody both blindfolded and connected?
Not connected.
Is everybody connected?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are
Okay,
connected.
we're going to slowly set off then.
Alright, come on.
I really don't see it, I'm not
What a
kidding.
joke.
So
I say Daily Mail article.
Might be fine.
Oh, this is horrible.
No, you can stop talking for a second.
I can't believe we thought of this idea, it's horrible.
Did you ever go to the...
No.
Oh,
That's some sensitivity.
Oh no, I thought that was me. It's slow progress.
You're going to touch the wall just so you know
Oh,
where
you
you
need to
are.
turn around.
You're not doing that.
Well,
This is my left arm.
You're in the middle of the room.
Okay,
you
this is
can
my
lower
right
your
arm
laptop.
now. Oh, I'm touching something.
Who's that?
Yeah?
Was I not meant to do that?
Who's that?
Oh, my glasses.
We've got to go find our object.
With the blindfold on or off?
Yes, on.
Yeah, on.
Anyone got a
We follow the chain.
Yeah. And maybe if we like bend down.
What is that? Who's on the floor? Who's on the floor?
It's me!
Oh, I found mine. I found mine.
Book in there. Oh, I've got like a tube thing.
So we thought of a PhD as possibly like diving into an ocean and it's huge and vast and you don't know what you're going to find, and then after sort of 3 or 4 years you come out and you have like a beautiful little shell or a pearl or something, and that's the one tiny thing from this vast ocean of knowledge that you bring out, and when you come out of the sea you're kind of transformed in some way and you've got this new gem to share with the world.
I make a personal commitment to my research and myself.
Now we have to enter the child position.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Interpret that how you will.
It's like...
Just take a minute to think about your number.
I've got a number.
And this is us in our number form right now. But when we get up, we'll be humans. So you must say your name. We can get up now. Lewis. Okay, now we finished. Everyone can clap.
I was quite anxious about coming here, and as you mentioned before, kind of thought the worst. The idea of role play and crowd singing just put the fear of God into me. So I'm going to leave that behind. The idea that things aren't as bad as they seem. And I'm not going to take a huge Santa.
I also had like a sense of apprehensiveness and fear before this residential, and I think what I've realised is you never really know what something's going to be like until you do it, so there's no point worrying about it, because even if it is awful, which this wasn't, but worrying about it will only make it more awful, do you know what I mean? So it's pointless to be nervous about something beforehand if you can avoid it, so it's better to be positive. And I want to take some new friendships and a star.
I'm going to leave behind my preconceived ideas that I brought into this regarding, like, when you see words like ritual and initiation and networking, and so bring forward with me a sort of more open-minded attitude to things like this in the future.
I'm going to leave behind kind of my doubts about what am I doing, this is a crazy life decision, because it's been nice to meet other people who've maybe made the same crazy decision, but at least there's safety in numbers that we're all doing it together. Yeah, and I'm going to take this festive spear.
No, I want to leave behind like the feeling that I'm not good enough to be doing a PhD, because it's really annoying because I am good enough.
I think I'm going to leave behind, yeah, I think the anxiety over the unknown, and the whole things that I thought that ritual and networking sort of connotate, and I think especially at this stage in the PhD, I was very stressed about 2 days off work, and I think that actually then having to go through this and take the time and not and let it happen, then that was helpful, sort of letting go of that sort of time control aspect, and I'm going to take away a sense of calmness, or at least try to.
Yeah, well done. Thank you so much for giving it a go. I know it's not something you have to do on a daily basis or you encounter on a daily basis. You're even the first ones to do this at all. So really big thank you, and yeah, give yourself a clap, because that was yeah, and my big hope is that it's just gonna grow from now on, and it was just like planting the seed, and you're gonna just make of it what you want to make of it, and you don't need exercises or activities or so, but you just know what to do.
And thank you to you. Thank you.
Yeah.